Hello everyone, and welcome to my young and restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kyle and Claire discuss Jack and Diane at the club. He hints that they still disagree on things like which James Bond film to see. Kyle explains that Bond sips martinis and finds that Claire has never seen them. She inquires as to what they are celebrating as he serves them champagne. Summer enters at that moment and tells Kyle they must speak. It has to do with Harrison. Claire offers to move aside so they can speak, looking irritated. Summer confides in Kyle that she worries about Harrison's perception of her mother at school. There are children of police officers in his class, and she is truly missing. Since he was meant to play ping pong with Phyllis yesterday, he has already had inquiries. Kyle smiles with this thought. Summer isn't being overly protective, he assures her. Summer believes they should get him ready. Tonight, they must speak with their son. Although Summer is aware that her mother is capable of caring for herself, this is making her insane, so she is attempting to concentrate on the things under her control. Kyle contends that they shouldn't ruin their son's movie night with his parents, but Summer fears that if he learns of Phyllis's disappearance, he would be terrified and have flashbacks to the time Jordan abducted him. Do they even desire that for a second? Kyle acknowledges her correctness. Summer apologizes for disturbing his romantic supper. Kyle gets up. Harrison will always come first, so they will approach him and speak with him. Claire comes back and inquires if they require further time. Kyle apologizes, but Summer convinced him that they should discuss Phyllis with Harrison. Claire knows. She is asked to wait for Kyle. Summer is not interested in hurrying their conversation with Harrison. Claire gives Kyle a kiss and urges him to take as much time as he needs. At the bar, she will wait. She orders a martini when she gets there. Nick tells Victoria about his fears. Thanking Victoria for meeting him, Nick joins her at society. They discuss the disappearance of Phyllis and Sharon. Victoria comments that neither of them has called him back, saying it's very unusual for Phyllis to remain anonymous. Nick is unsure of his thoughts. It's been a long year for their family, Victor reflects. Nick acknowledges that maintaining his optimism is becoming more and more difficult. According to her, they must support one another and remain resilient for their children. Phyllis and Sharon would prefer that he do that. Regarding the children, Nick believes his sister is correct. No matter how old they are, they pick up on things. They always manage to put on a brave front, Victoria thinks. Nick claims that earlier, he discussed that with Billy. He reveals that he had visited earlier to talk about Phyllis. Victoria claims that they share the trait of being excellent fathers. Nick doesn't always need to be that strong, she assures him. Nick acknowledges that he wishes there had been a day when everything didn't go wrong and he wasn't worried. Victoria believes that will happen. She notes that Nikki is sober, Victor is doing well, and Claire has finally let go of Jordan. She is confident that Sharon and Phyllis will get in touch shortly. Nick sincerely hopes she's correct, but he fears they're in grave danger. Victoria Nick YNR. Phyllis is being saved by Sharon. Phyllis sobs at the deserted mental institution. She feels as though she drank battery acid and is in pain. She is persuaded to drink the bottle with the sticker by Sharon. They see that Phyllis's heart is pounding. When Sharon drinks the one with the sticker, it will be the end. She is certain that the water poisoned her. Phyllis doesn't believe it. It's a game, Sharon assures her. Phyllis wonders if this is the end of her game. To find out if she answered the riddle correctly, Sharon calls out to the voice. Phyllis has less faith in her than in the voice, who must respond immediately. More lessons from beyond the gates for YNR. Sharon keeps trying to persuade Phyllis to take the antidote while she screams and writhes on the couch. They start talking about how Sharon tainted Daniel's whiskey. She was accused of attempting to run her off the road, as Sharon reminds her. You are wrong about me now, just as you were wrong about me back then. She gives her the bottle of water. Even now, Phyllis refuses to drink. She cannot be forced by Sharon. This is your call. At last, Phyllis instructs her to hand her the bottle. At least she won't have to put up with her self-righteous voice any longer, whether it kills her or not. Stop talking. They wait while she sips. A terrifying update from Chance. At the society, Nick is unsure about what to say to his children. The truth is that they are unaware of Sharon and Phyllis's predicament. He can tell the children lies. He can't lie to himself, Victoria supposes. You're absolutely certain that Sharon and Phyllis need your assistance, based on the expression on your face, aren't you? Daniel shows up. On that, he agrees with him. He tells Lucy that everything is good, but he finds it difficult to believe it for himself. Nick acknowledges that it's becoming more difficult to provide an explanation for their prolonged disappearance. Daniel fears that they won't see his mother or Sharon ever again. Daniel Victoria Nick YNR. Despite Daniel's continuous communication with Chance, the force has produced no results at all. Lucy is now inquiring why her grandmother isn't messaging her back while Summer is freaked out. Without giving her away, he can't send her on another tour with Danny. Lucy is invited out to the ranch by Victoria. Daniel is grateful for that. Chance enters as Nick is telling Daniel that they both have many questions but no answers. He is happy that they are both present. He has Phyllis and Sharon's news. There is proof today that they must be located. They have video of a white van without windows driving around the corner where they last saw Phyllis. In a similar vein, Sharon's car was left in the Cassidy First parking lot, and the same van was seen on camera departing. Phyllis and Sharon have not been seen since. Possibility Daniel Nick YNR. The antidote is effective. Phyllis is still alive in the mental hospital, but she feels as though fishhooks are being ripped out of her stomach. Sharon encourages her to finish the water bottle. Phyllis throws it after doing so. She needs to get up and move, according to Sharon. Is she trying to make her throw up, wonders Phyllis. Sharon believes it will benefit her and expedite the antidote's entry into her system. After lifting her to her feet, she pulls her in a few circles. Phyllis needs to return to the couch since she is too frail. However, she senses that the pain is lessening. More, death of Pamela Bach Hasselhoff. Phyllis is informed by Sharon that they passed the test. Phyllis isn't overflowing with hope. They should rejoice that she survived, Sharon says. Phyllis laments being imprisoned by a deranged game show presenter. She yells that she will not tear out his eyes when she sees him if he lets them go. They won, according to Sharon. What about next round, says Phyllis. The voice congratulates Sharon after the loud buzzer sounds, and she lashes out at him for physically harming one of them. At least let's play nice. The buzzer sounds. They wanted me to save you, Sharon explains. It was a component of the game. It was equally possible that she was the one who drank the contaminated water. She might have been writhing on the ground. Would you have saved me? She asks herself if it had been her. Despite her hatred for Phyllis, Sharon doesn't think she would watch helplessly while she passed away. Perhaps I wouldn't have solved the puzzle, reflects Phyllis. I'm obviously not as intelligent as you, Sharon. Sharon assures her that she is okay with playing it this way if disliking her is the diversion she needs at the moment. Sharon summarizes that although they still despise one another, she is relieved that Phyllis is all right. For the record, she feels that she would have acted in the same way if the roles had been reversed. They argue over whether Phyllis will forgive Sharon for saving her life. The redhead is tired from everything her body has been through, yet she knows she wants to chat. She is unable to leave the couch. She should rest, Sharon says. She will keep an eye on her. Thank you, says Phyllis in a whisper. I'm grateful that you saved my life. Sharon says, you're welcome. More, Alan makes Tracy unable to speak. A surprising meeting. Holden enters the club bar and Claire takes a sip of her martini. Holden gets 2 Vespers so she can try one after they start discussing a different version of the drink. Claire gives it a taste. She prefers it to the traditional martini. As he teaches her, they continue to converse. They say, pick your poison, he teases. I own this. Maybe mine too, she reflects. He finds out that although she hasn't seen the Bond films, she finds Daniel Craig attractive. Holden mentions his friend's interest in antique books. Kyle and Summer return, and they toast and introduce themselves. Looks like Claire made a new friend, Summer thinks. Between Holden and Claire, Kyle butts in and tells her about their conversation with Harrison. As she leaves, Summer grins and bids good night. Does that look like a martini? Kyle asks Claire. In reality, she claims, it's a Vesper. I was introduced to them by this gentleman. Holden gives a nod. Returning to their table, Kyle apologizes to Claire once more for disturbing her. Summer puts on a brave face, but it's clear that she's terrified of her mother. She poses no threat to Claire. Is that liquid courage? Kyle wonders. If she needs it, Claire asks. Kyle comforts her. She might have another drink, Claire decides. She often seems a little dizzy around him, so it's difficult to judge how hard it's hitting. While Sharon worries about the worst, Nick stays optimistic. Nick informs Daniel, Victoria, and Chance at Society that they will bring Sharon and Phyllis home now that they have a lead on them. More, unintentionally exposed kidnapper? Sharon sleeps over Phyllis at the mental institution. Well done, Sharon, the voice says to her. You're getting closer to freedom. What the hell does that mean, says Sharon. Why does he care so much about her and Phyllis getting back together? What do you stand to gain? It is an accomplishment, according to the voice. It's not personal, he says. Remember that this is just an experiment. We're lab rats, exclaims Sharon. She wants to know if winning will result in their release. Or are you thinking of something else? She should rest, the voice advises. The two of them will have a busy day tomorrow. He sounds the buzzer loudly. Sharon lets out a frustrated scream. The blonde informs Phyllis, I don't think we're getting out of here anytime soon, as she awakens. Next on The Young and the Restless, Tracy tells Jack something unexpected, Chance consoles Summer, and Phyllis and Sharon assume command. The scene at the club sets the stage for a series of emotionally charged interactions that delve into the complexities of relationships, family dynamics, and personal fears. Kyle and Claire's conversation begins lightheartedly, with Kyle teasing Claire about her lack of familiarity with James Bond movies. This playful banter quickly shifts when Summer arrives, bringing with her a sense of urgency and concern about Harrison. Summer's worry about how her son will react to the news of Phyllis's disappearance underscores the delicate balance parents must maintain between protecting their children and preparing them for life's harsh realities. Kyle's initial reluctance to interrupt Harrison's movie night highlights his desire to preserve his son's innocence, but Summer's insistence on addressing the issue head-on reveals her deep-seated fears about Harrison's past trauma resurfacing. This moment is a poignant reminder of the lasting impact of past events on a child's psyche and the challenges parents face in navigating those emotional minefields. Claire's understanding and willingness to step aside further emphasize her growing bond with Kyle and her respect for his role as a father. Her decision to order a martini at the bar, a drink she had just learned about from Kyle, symbolizes her attempt to connect with his world even as she grapples with her own feelings of uncertainty and vulnerability. Meanwhile, Nick and Victoria's conversation at Society delves into the emotional toll of the ongoing crises surrounding Sharon and Phyllis. Nick's admission that it's becoming increasingly difficult to stay positive reflects the weight of responsibility he feels as a father and a partner. Victoria's reassurance that they must lean on each other and remain strong for their children highlights the importance of familial support during times of crisis. Their discussion also touches on the broader theme of resilience, as they reflect on the challenges their family has faced and overcome in the past. Nick's concern for Sharon and Phyllis is palpable, and his inability to shake the feeling that they are in real danger adds a layer of tension to the narrative. This sense of foreboding is further amplified when Daniel joins the conversation, expressing his own fears about the situation. The arrival of Chance with new information about the white van provides a glimmer of hope, but the lack of concrete answers keeps the characters and the audience on edge. In the abandoned mental hospital, the tension between Sharon and Phyllis reaches a boiling point as they grapple with the life-or-death stakes of their predicament. Sharon's determination to save Phyllis, despite their fraught history, is a testament to her strength and compassion. Phyllis's initial reluctance to trust Sharon underscores the deep-seated animosity between them, but her eventual decision to drink the antidote marks a turning point in their relationship. This moment of vulnerability and mutual dependence forces them to confront their shared humanity and the possibility of reconciliation. The Voice's cryptic comments about their progress in the game add an eerie layer of mystery to their situation, leaving both women and the audience wondering what lies ahead. Sharon's frustration with the Voice's manipulative tactics and her determination to uncover his motives reflect her resilience and resourcefulness, qualities that have defined her character throughout the series.